They used to run on instinct, now they run on code. And the scariest part? They look exactly like the real thing, until it's too late. In this video, we'll uncover 20 terrifyingly real robot animals divided into 5 mind-blowing parts. From racing beasts and robotic birds, to slithering spies and cuddly machines that betray your trust. What you're about to see isn't science fiction. It's already crawling, flying, and swimming among us. Part 1. Beautiful beasts with a dark design. Number 1 point, Cheetah 3. Developed by MIT, this robotic predator was inspired by one of nature's fastest animals. But this version doesn't need lungs, adrenaline, or hunger to hunt. It runs up to 28 miles per hour and performs gymnastic-level jumps without ever seeing its surroundings. It's completely blind. Sensors and internal code make all decisions faster than the human nervous system can react. That means it can leap onto a table, recover from a fall, or climb stairs without a pause. It doesn't get tired, it doesn't ask questions, and it doesn't feel pain. This robotic cheetah was built for rough terrain and rescue missions, but it's also being studied by military groups around the world because a robot that never gets tired and runs with relentless efficiency is the perfect future soldier. Number 2 point, Bionic kangaroo. Built by Festo, this robotic marvel jumps just like the real marsupial, but what sets it apart is its ability to regenerate energy with every landing. It stores kinetic energy, recalculates its launch, and then fires itself forward again. There's no trial and error, no imbalance. It adjusts automatically, perfectly. Now imagine a battalion of these hopping scouts moving over minefields or broken urban terrain, reporting intel and mapping enemy positions. This isn't a future threat, it's happening. Something designed to mimic nature's grace is now being fitted with data capture systems and autonomous targeting capability. And it's quiet, dead quiet. Number 3. Pigeon drone. You've seen birds flocking in city skies, but in parts of China, up to 30% of those may not be birds at all. The Pigeon Drone project uses robotic birds that flap their wings, turn mid-flight, and land like the real thing. But under their soft feathers are high-resolution cameras, GPS systems, and motion sensors capable of scanning crowds and recognizing faces. What's worse, these pigeons don't return to cages. They fly freely, collecting data in markets, neighborhoods, and schools. By the time you realize you've been watched, the information is already in a government database. You looked up and smiled. It was smiling back, but with a lens instead of eyes. Number 4. Robotic falcon. These aren't toys for hobbyists. These machines are engineered hunters. Their job? Control the skies. Initially developed to scare birds away from airports, robotic falcons now chase drones, monitor airspace, and can be outfitted with thermal sensors and high-speed cameras. They fly fast, dive accurately, and follow targets at high altitudes with terrifying persistence. And unlike biological birds, they don't get distracted. They follow code, not instinct. You could look up and see a graceful falcon spiraling above you without realizing it's logging your coordinates. But the story doesn't end there. Part 2. Crawlers, swimmers, and silent watchers. Number 5. Slitherbot. This robot moves like a nightmare with no face. Its body is segmented, flexible, and eerily fluid. It slithers over rocks, through pipes, and around corners. Silent, swift, unstoppable. Originally created for post-disaster rescue scenarios, it now has applications in covert military operations. It doesn't need wheels, it doesn't need legs, it just slides into buildings, beneath vehicles, around your home. Surveillance cameras can't see it because it moves where they can't point, and if you ever hear a faint metal-on-metal scrape beneath your floorboards, pray it's not the Slitherbot. Number 6. Octobot. Harvard's Octobot is the softest robot in the world. Not because it's gentle, but because it's smart. There are no wires inside, no motors, no microchips, just liquid circuits and silicone. It bends, it squeezes, it changes shape, it moves in places rigid machines never could. It was designed for medicine and deep sea research, but its lack of detectable structure makes it the perfect covert scout. If it slips into your building, you won't hear it. If it slides under your door, you won't feel it. And if it gathers data, it disappears just as quietly. Number 7. Robo-tuna. Under the sea, Robo-tuna swims like nature designed it. Its body flows like flesh and cartilage, not metal, but inside is a control unit linked to sonar, surveillance, and motion analysis software. The US Navy tested it to tail submarines undetected. It blends in with schools of fish. It makes no sound. It leaves no trail. You could dive into the ocean and swim next to it, and never realize that the fish beside you was streaming your movement to a military satellite. Number 8. Robo-ray. Graceful, gentle, and ghostly. Robo-ray is shaped like a stingray, but powered by soft artificial muscles. It pulses through water using electric signals, mimicking the peaceful dance of a real sea creature. But this ray carries more than grace. It carries sensors, sonar, and sometimes cameras. Initially used for ocean mapping, it's now considered for silent tracking of naval targets. It glides through harbors, unnoticed by fish or man. The ocean isn't silent anymore, it's listening. Then something even more shocking happened. Part 3. Machines that smile while watching you. Number 9. Spot the robot dog. You've seen Spot dancing on YouTube, but behind those cute moves is a dangerous truth. This four-legged machine doesn't tire, doesn't slip, and doesn't miss. It opens doors, walks on ice, climbs stairs, and carries surveillance gear. Spot is now deployed by military and police forces around the world. It can follow a suspect, map a building, or even carry weapons. It's loyal to whoever programs it, and unlike a real dog, it never hesitates to obey. Number 10. Robotic dolphin. Edge Innovation's creation is so lifelike that people in aquariums can't tell the difference. It wiggles, it turns, it reacts, but it also records. This smiling creature has cameras in its eyes and sensors along its body. It doesn't need trainers. It doesn't need rest. It can patrol coastal waters or port entries, blending in with marine life while relaying real-time surveillance. What looks like entertainment may soon be government-issued surveillance at sea. Number 11. Robo-bees. Harvard's Robo-bees are smaller than a paperclip. But don't be fooled, they're smarter than you think. They can fly in tight swarms, hover, land silently, and carry micro payloads. Originally built for pollination, their abilities caught the attention of military labs. Imagine these tiny bots carrying tracking devices, toxins, or microphones. One bee is a marvel. 1,000 is a surveillance army. Number 12. Robotic cats. They blink, they meow, they even curl up next to you. Built to comfort elderly patients, these machines have soft fur, gentle motors, and simulated purring. But some now come equipped with face scanning and audio logging systems. They're warm, they're friendly, they live in people's homes, and they're always listening. But wait till you hear what happened next. Part 4. Hybrids, cyborgs, and machines that learn. Number 13. Cyborg insects. At first glance, it sounds like horror fiction, but deep inside real labs, scientists have successfully turned cockroaches into machines. They attach microscopic backpacks with antennas and chips onto living insects, then steer them through remote pulses. These roaches aren't walking randomly, they're being controlled. They enter collapsed buildings, crawl into air ducts, and send real-time environmental data back to servers. Their brains no longer matter, their instincts no longer guide them. They are alive, but no longer free. The body functions, but the will is gone. A twisted marriage between biology and control, between nature and total domination. And the worst part? They still look natural. They still twitch and scurry like they did before, but now they do it on command. Then something even darker crawled into view. Number 14. Robo-penguins. They were originally made to be cute, floating penguin bots that could swim in synchronized patterns for underwater research. But now they operate like an intelligent flock. Each one is aware of the others. They twist mid-swim, dodge each other without contact, and follow programmed objectives like disciplined soldiers in formation. Some are already equipped with sonar and thermal scanners. On the surface, they wobble and amuse. Underwater, they're a mobile surveillance grid capable of tracking naval equipment, scanning ship hulls, or identifying divers. And they don't make a sound. They move in silence, like a coordinated ballet, except this show isn't for applause. It's for surveillance. It's for control. Number 15. Robo-seal. You'll find them in hospitals resting in the arms of elderly patients. They coo softly, blink slowly, and nuzzle in response to touch. They look like therapeutic plush companions, and in many ways they are. But what most people don't realize is that their sensors don't just detect touch. They record pulse, voice tone, temperature, and even stress levels. Some are connected to cloud-based AI that tracks emotional shifts over time. It's comforting, yes, but it's also a scanner, a recording device, a behavioral profiling tool disguised in innocence. You trust it because it looks soft. You bond with it because it reacts. But what it sends back could be more intimate than any camera ever could. Number 16, Robo Raven. This one doesn't fly like your average drone. It flaps, it soars, it banks through the air like a real bird of prey. But beneath its carbon fiber wings lies surveillance equipment designed by the US Army. It can fly silently for hours, powered by solar energy. And while you're sunbathing in the park or walking down a city street, Robo Raven could be circling above, watching your heat signature, identifying movement, and mapping crowd behavior. Birds were once symbols of freedom, but now they've become scouts for systems you'll never see. Part 5, when the cute becomes the threat. Number 17, robotic frogs. They jump, they flip, they land without a sound. Designed for jungle warfare and search missions, these amphibious machines can leap into danger zones, avoid landmines, and capture audio or visuals, all while looking like a harmless creature. With elastic limbs and adaptive pressure sensors, they control their motion mid-air like elite athletes. They don't croak, they don't blink, but once they land, they scan, and no one suspects the frog. No one stops to look twice. That's the real power. Invisibility by assumption, innocence by design. Number 18, robotic elephant. Still in testing, this project may become one of the most terrifying machines ever made for terrain navigation. It stands tall, heavy, and carries cargo across rivers and battlefields. But it's not just built for strength, it carries scanning equipment, terrain mapping AI, thermal imagers, and LIDAR. Each footstep becomes a data point. Each journey builds a more complete map, and unlike real elephants, this one doesn't just remember, it stores, it transmits, it tracks. The gentle giant of the animal kingdom turned into a rolling tower of data and dominance. Number 19, Boarbot. Originally imagined for law enforcement and crowd control, this four-legged robot was designed to mimic the force and chaos of a charging boar. Covered in armored plating, driven by high-torque engines, and capable of shoulder-slamming through obstacles, it doesn't ask why the crowd is gathered. It just follows orders. Riot shields may stop a human, but Boarbot doesn't feel fear. It doesn't care who you are or why you're running. If you're in its way, it moves you. Brutally, efficiently, emotionlessly. Number 20, hybrid muscle robots. We've reached the threshold, the era of synthetic flesh. Scientists are now growing living muscle tissue over robotic frames. That means the movement is not mimicked. It's real. Actual contractions, real force, but no brain, no emotion. Just lab-grown strength driven by artificial neurons or electric pulses. Imagine a creature that moves like an animal, bleeds like an animal, twitches like an animal, but follows only code. It's not a copy of life. It's a reinvention, a weaponized evolution, one that doesn't come from nature, but from us. We used to observe animals with wonder, now we reconstruct them with code. Their instincts have been replaced with programming, their curiosity swapped with surveillance. They smile, they purr, they run and leap and swim, but everything they do now is recorded, tracked, and stored. We didn't evolve alongside these new creatures, we built them. We trained them, and now they're watching us, silently, patiently. So the final question is no longer what can we build? It's what have we become? Because when the next animal you see wags its tail, flaps its wings, or nuzzles against you, will you know if it's real? Will you know if it has a soul? Or will it already know your face, your name, and exactly where you've been? The wild is no longer wild. It's been programmed.